congratulations on this. One thing I've loved this year is talking about music and how different people go about it different ways. So given the nature of this film, how did you approach it? And, were you given free rein or did you have some fairly specific...
I mean, I'd spoken a lot with Lynne. She gave me the script in 2023 in April. I bumped into her on Portobello Road. She said, I've got potentially this film. Do you want to come and have a look? And we went to this little office of hers, all these post-it notes all over the wall. She gave me the first draft of the script, and I think I called it in pretty early on because there was a lot of music in the script, and there was going to be a lot of clearances, a lot of ideas going to be needed, and it was a hell of a job. I could get a real sense of the mammoth task of it, and I think we just put together a playlist for Grace and Jackson, the two lead characters, a 20-song playlist, and most of them sort of stuck. And Lynne really loved it. She sent it to Jen. I think only Jen was on at that point. And it just kind of, I got a note from the American producers saying they love the playlist. And it just felt, sometimes the crosshairs align when you read a script and you get a sense of what you feel it should be. And certainly my music taste and Ian's music taste, we weren't really, it just very much felt like the soundtrack of my life when I read it. And like Hey Mickey and these tracks that ended up in the soundtrack, they're my childhood. And Lynne, and we've got really similar tastes. I think we all know what we don't like and what we do like, and I think we've got really good taste in music, and Lynne's got amazing taste in music. So it was kind of it was just very sort of effortless in that way about choosing the music. Our tastes just aligned with the characters.
Which has got to be great because it can't always be like that. I imagine that you've had situations in the past where there's been a bit of push and pull. I mean, what was it like to hear back from Jen that she was loving it?
It's great.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah,
it's nice. I mean, she was. My experience of Jennifer was just the utmost professional, grateful, courteous professional I've ever worked with. Really, she was unflappable and just really, really lovely. And she, on the wedding scenes, I was out on set playing her music, and she had to smash up the room, and she was like, "Can you help?" We had a little earpiece in, and I played her like death metal for the first time, scared the life out of her. And she was brilliant. She was brilliant. She's got great taste as well. She's really into Infinite Guitars by Sleigh Bells, and when she's on the floor doing the confetti, that was what I was playing in her ears. We didn't end up putting that in the film. It didn't quite feel right, but she's into that song. I know that.
And how much of that goes on where you're playing them something that doesn't end up in the film? Because that's quite fascinating.
Quite a lot. Yeah. I mean, the danger is that you play something on set, somebody starts to hum along to it, or it's a certain BPM and they do something, and then ultimately it doesn't work in the edit, or you can't afford it, or whatever. So, but it also does give a really good vibe, and I think actors do thrive on that. It's like, editors can't cut without music, a lot of them. Writers can't write without music. So, but there were a number of songs that were sung on camera. So quite a few of the things that we did actually got early on, and then they were, of course, included in the film as well. So that wasn't a total waste of time, which is reassuring from my perspective as well. Yeah.
And you spent so long in your kind of bubble trying to put it together and make it work and get your releases and everything like that. And then you come out and find that the world loves what you've done. How does that feel? Are you...
Beautiful. I mean, it's really beautiful. It's, you don't realise when you're inside this sort of mountain of music that we put together, and we created original songs, and we've got a cover version with Lynne singing "Love Will Tear Us Apart," and you kind of chip away at this. You're chipping away at the sculpture all the time, and it was 2.5 years of work. And then suddenly, I went to see it in Cannes. It was like, oh my God, this is so much music. Yeah. You stand back from it and look at it, and you're like, you don't really realise when it's unfolding when you're inside something like this, the sort of monster that it is. And to be here tonight, Ian just finished licensing the last track last week, and we started in April 2023. So to win the award tonight and to be here, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
I mean, I've won a few music awards along the way for a very long career, and of course that's very rewarding as well, but this is specifically for a film, and so people are acknowledging that the music in the film rather than the music industry acknowledging, so this is kind of a bit different. So first BIFA win, and great to do it with this man.
Me and Ian, Ian's been an amazing help to me over the 14 years that I've been doing this, so you know, an incredible support outside of this project as well as a friend. So to be here with Ian's really special. Really special.
Have yourselves a fantastic evening. It's been lovely to speak to you.
so
Congratulations once again.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!